So guys, to tell about the Great War. I already said it's the Great War in this time. So there have been some wars where powers have been definitely punished, like Dorsa or Tamara. But basically this is gonna be the fall of the empires. Okay, you know, basically empires like the large countries that control tons of land. Everything is Monama is not the same color. Okay, we fixed it. Monama is the same color now. But this is the fall of like the massive empires. Okay, Gaza, Pantanovan, the colonial empires. Okay, the colonial empires are not gonna fall, but this is gonna be the fall of the traditional massive land empires. Yeah. So the first battles are gonna happen in the New World. So basically, Japan is gonna invade. Okay, first it could be the border wars here. So Tavi is at war with Kanto. So Tavi starts to actually invade the southern portion of Kanto here, and they start to send troops here. Japan. This is with the help of Japan, obviously, which Japan obviously supports the independence. Meanwhile, Caesar starts to make a move in on Tavi, which is not to be unexpected. Tavi also. Okay, Tavi is. Oh yeah, this country starts doing. They basically control all of here. Yeah, so Gaza isn't at war. Actually, Bisa and Gaza are not at war, so there's not gonna be much movement except for Tavi. Yeah, Tavi is gonna be invading. Along with Gaza and these countries, they're gonna be invading this land here. So meanwhile, Bisa's not really doing anything because they're not at war with anyone. Basically, they're not bordering anyone. So Bisa doesn't do anything for now. Meanwhile, the war in the Middle East starts. So Pantanovan starts to invade Osiri, and Gaza starts to invade Osiri as well, creating a massive front line between them. So Osiri is eliminated for now. Here, they start to invade Tamara. Here, and this team also starts to invade this guy's on Tamara's on the side. So Solmi and Feta and all these countries put troops on the border to basically halt Gaza's advances. Monama wants to free basically Egypt here. Monama is invading Egypt here, and they invade the northern Nile here, basically cutting off southern Egypt and cutting off Gaza from this massive amount of land they have here. Meanwhile, Warpy and Fry, they're at each other's foes again. So Fry is being invaded here. So by both sides, basically. Here, Fry is gonna be like France. They're gonna surrender very quickly. Here, Fry is a very powerful country. Meanwhile, this border war is gonna be finally checked out. So these lands are gonna be invaded very quickly. Basically to solve this border war crisis, the Warbeats is actually kind of dominated. Meanwhile, Fry, they don't really have a lot of colonies. They really don't have a lot of colonies here, which causes the colonies to basically the colonial empire to collapse here. Since a lot of the colonies are kind of like locked out, and they also take this land here too, causing Fry's government to basically collapse. This isn't too surprising, but the green team isn't really doing so. The green team doesn't really have many alliance members, so they're gonna have to get a new alliance member. So Darwin starts to invade the southern portion of Equal here. Soviet starts to invade this country over here. Meanwhile, Sylvia, along with Bragia, You know the enemies, they basically take out this land by Salmi first. Here. Because Salmi basically wants to extend into Europe. That's the only reason why they are part of this alliance here. Alliance of thingy here. So they invade here. Meanwhile, Equals could put most of the forces on capturing this area up here. Which they're pretty successful at, but the other half is taken by Osai to basically prevent Equal from taking it. Which means they own Moravia's biggest city, so Osai basically technically occupies this area, but it's Moravia. Moravia is doing pretty poorly against it. They do take back some of this land here, but not enough against Equal. This green team does get a new ally. Neostia joins on the side of the green circle team as well. The green circle team also Oran and Cusia start to invade this part of Monama here, which means they take basically a lot of this coastal regions here, and they don't really have a lot of big powers they can call. They have Pentanovan. However, they can go to India for another great power. They already have Tomin, but they try to convince Bolsa to join. So they get Bolsa and Nikita to join the alliance along with Nai. This causes Bisa to be completely surrounded by this side. They were basically doing nothing but sending troops overseas, but now they are being invaded very quickly. However, Nai quickly invades this country down here. Yeah, this country existed for such a long time, but during the war, this country was kind of in the way, so they invaded very quickly. Rufu also joins the green team as well. The Green Alliance. The Pentanovan Green Alliance. Pentanovan's alliance does extend to Rufu. Rufu joins this alliance here. And this causes Kanto, which was always talking about its colonial nations, is now being invaded by a massive, Mongolian country here from the north. Kanto is one of the most powerful nations in the world, but they're being invaded by Tavi and Kanto here, so Kanto is being invaded by Japan. Is helping too, so meanwhile in the New World, there aren't really many conflicts in the New World. Meanwhile, Fusaka does invade, because Fusaka is at war with Asgarcia, so they start to actually invade Asgarcian land, and they also start to invade this colony down here, which is Garson land here. Pentanovan also starts to invade Garson land as well here, invading them. Also, Pentanovan's at war with Tavi as well, as they start to invade the Tavian, Oklahoma area. They start to invade Oklahoma as well, but Japan starts to send troops to basically stop Pentanovan's march here. And also in the New World, Bisa basically controls most of this area. The only Bisa is at war with Bisa's allies with Tavi. So basically, the entirety of the New World is controlled by countries that are friends of each other. Meanwhile, the war down here continues in Africa. The invasion of the Congo begins as well, but Africa's borders are kind of stagnant here. Meanwhile, Warpy and Tavi are actually on the same side, but they basically invade. The Japanese also invade Asgarcia's colony, which they have been wanting to for a while, so they invade Asgarcia's colony as well. Sahi also joins in to invade, which they join the side of both countries. They're basically kind of like a neutral party. But they basically invade also Fry's County, which is completely surrounded. I think this is Sifa's County. Okay, Sifa is actually friends. Oh, what country is this? Actually, do not know. Is it Dorsa? Nope. It's not Fly. Is it Equal? Does Equal have this colony? I think it's Tavi. No, it's CISA. So CISA is a part of Fly's alliance. So Fly's down here. So yeah, this Chinese country invades here alongside Warpy taking the rest here. Meanwhile, Monamo was as part of the Liberation Alliance. They start to basically invade this land here. And they continue to invade Garcia as well. They invade all the way up here. Meanwhile, tomorrow finally says they have a chance to get back to old land. So they invade here. Here. Meanwhile, Garcia has a deal along with Pentanovan. No, Pentanovan has a deal. Pentanovan puts aside the differences with the Green Circle Alliance and decides to basically join against Kanto, since they're the ones who started this whole thing. They're on the same alliance with Kanto. But Pentanovan is going to play something sneaky. Despite being a part of the same alliance, they're going to switch sides. Yes, they're going to switch sides and join. Okay, no, that's not going to happen. That's not. They're not Italy, but okay, these sides basically agree. Hey, we have bigger fish to fry, which is the Green Alliance. Okay, the Green Alliance is starting to dominate the other alliances because of some of the big powers they have. Equal starts to steamroll Germany. They get Neostian on their side, which is a pretty big power as well here. And they actually start to push back Agasia. And Fry gets the English land back. So they get the English land back here. Owned land here. Warpian owned land. And also, Bonama does not like the fact that Oran is basically beating their ass at this point here. And this is pretty concerning for both alliances, because Pentanovan is one of the biggest countries in the world, and they are going up and invading this. And then they also got these Indian nations on their side as well, basically promising that they'll get the old land back if they win. Basically, same thing with Nai as well. So basically, what they want to do is they want to team up. That these sides, Somi wants to put aside the differences with Monama and Garza to basically invade the other threat. So Monama will relinquish its claims here. Garza will recognize Tamara's claims here and will actually give him a coastline as a peace deal of sorts. And as Garcia and Warpy will actually finally put aside the differences and focus on these countries down here. Okay, Neostia and Fry. Neostia is only paid. They actually backstab Fry, which, given Europe's politics, isn't too surprising. And they join the Great Alliance here. This is a no-no. They did not expect this to happen. They thought Pentanovan and its alliance thought it was so powerful that the other countries would just kill themselves basically first. Actually, these countries are not actually at war. Wufu is not actually at war. Wufu is a part of the alliance, so. Actually, Wufu is supposed to be... Okay, Wufu is supposed to be... Wufu's the wrong color. Yeah. This causes all of these alliances, but Siva and Maki didn't really actually have full hands of each other. Yeah, this causes this massive alliance to be formed here. Here, and This kind of screwed over the green team. Rufu betrayed Kanto. Sifa decided, you know what, we don't want to lose, so we're gonna leave the war. We're gonna leave the war and completely leave your alliance. Okay. This causes Kanto to be all alone in this war because they refuse to accept the colonial countries to be independent. Okay. This causes Kanto's other colony, which is this country down here, to declare, which is basically Mexico, to declare its independence. And all the countries basically immediately recognize this country's independence, and they join this team as well. So, Fry completely screwed. They are invaded very, very, very quickly by this team. You know, Fry is being invaded very, very quickly and is defeated very, very quickly. Same thing with the colonial colonies, which are quickly taken over. Yeah. Meanwhile, Dratavia joins the alliance because they want to get the land back. So Dratavia starts to invade this area here. Salmi finally gets to get revenge against Salvia and Darwin. And equal. Cool. Brakia starts to, you know, there was a massive front line against Equal. Equal is not a weak country by any means, so they are kind of pushed back. Moravia pushes back Equal, and Osai pushes back Equal. Equal wants help, but they only have a couple allies. Also, Osai starts to invade Demonia, which they're not too strong, you know. The capital is taken and they surrender immediately. Meanwhile, the front line between them and Pentanovan, which this is like one of the oldest countries in the world. Pentanovan is collapsing. They have a lot of internal issues now. A lot of Persia wants their independence as well, you know. OTI, basically a puppet state. They break free and declare their independence from being a puppet state. So they invade. They start to invade Pentanovan and basically betray them as well. They get to get Binu on the side, which is a kind of like a death blow because Binu is the second most powerful country in this region here. Yeah, and Pentanovan is kind of screwed. They lost their only ally. And they could try to search for allies. Tormund leaves the alliance. They don't see anything out. They don't see gain anything out of it. Same thing with Nikata. Nikata is basically gonna be screwed over. They joined an alliance and their country is gonna claim that the government was betrayed, basically. And the government basically says, you know what, we'll sue for peace. We're just basically bribed into it. And yeah. Now it's just Kanto and Pentanovan, the two bit and equal. The three big members of the alliance here. The march for Pentanovan's capital. Meanwhile, rebels start to pop up here. And Garza takes out Pentanovan's capital. A feat that no country was ever able to do. As Pentanovan kind of had plot armor the whole time. Pentanovan collapses. Basically, the government collapses of Pentanovan. Now it's just Equal and Kanto. So, Equal is being invaded very quickly as well. So Equal is being invaded relatively quickly. And the capital is surrounded by Fusakan and Yastian troops. And Equal collapses as well. This leaves Kanto the sole country left of the alliance, and they're basically being screwed over too. Siberia is basically worthless. Rufu takes it over. They're just left with Korea and Alaska. They invade. Korea is being invaded relatively quickly, and Kanto, which used to be one of the greatest superpowers, now falls. They have fallen. They have basically lost this war. So the peace treaty is going to go up on. Fry is going to be severely punished. They're going to lose Brittany now, along with a few provinces down here. Here, as Garcia will also... This is going to cause the Fryan government to be really, really upset. They're going to give this province independence. This province doesn't have a name yet, but this province will gain its independence. We're going to get rid of the alliances later. I'll get rid of the alliances off screen. Curcia and Oran, they just left the alliance so they don't get punished. As well. Bonama will, however, take some of Oran's land away, including the capital region, which means they finally get Tunisia. Yeah, which will leave Oran's capital like down here, which is the second largest city. Darwin will be forced to give Dratavia back its land, and Sovia will be forced to give another region its independence, which is the southern region here, and they'll be forced to give another country its independence, which is this region here. Which leaves Sovia with this little land here. And then it's the fall of Equal. We're not gonna be giving these we'll be doing this later, but we'll be giving these countries names later. But this entire area is independent now. This entire massive land, which is basically Finland, is now independent. So as well. Meanwhile, Equal will fall to the revolutionaries. They'll also be forced to give Cali back their independence as well. And they'll be forced to give Brachia and Moravia their desired lands. So Brachia will gain this land here, and Moravia will gain literally all of this land. So that was the split up of Pentanovan. So this country over here will basically be extended to over here. This country down here will gain land here. Okay. This country here will gain all of this land here. This country here will gain its independence. And of course, this area here will be an independent state. Pentanovan will still be a pretty large country, but they'll lose a ton of land. The two new independent countries here, which we'll do it later. We'll do these countries later, so. And now it's the split up of Kanto, which is the most interesting one. Rufu will actually gain all of Siberia because no one lives in Siberia. So, and Kanto will lose lands to the Japanese. So it'll be like in real life. Korea will be losing lands to the Japanese as well. Basically splitting the country in two, like in real life. And even though ignoring the exact words, and this Siberian nation will also gain its independence. Also, the two colonies will gain its independence, and Alaska will be this country does basically take over Siberia. Pentanovan cannot access its colony anymore. So Pentanovan's colony is Pentanovan's colony is out. This colony in North America, if I can get a correct one, is, however, granted its independence, with its capital being right here. Also the African country will be under control of the Baihu colony, which is the colony of Nova. So there goes Pentanovan's colonies. And Equal didn't have any colonies. Fry. Now we're talking about Fry's colonies. So Fry's colonies will be very, very simple. Fry doesn't really have any colonies. They'll just lose all the colonies as well. So Fry is screwed over. And basically they lose all the colonies. Again, like in real life, these countries are practically screwed over. Like in the World War I treaty. They get no say in losing the colonies. No say. Okay? No say in the colonies being removed. Same thing with these countries here. And yeah, this country is basically spoken about. Darwin still gets to keep its name though. Meanwhile, Dratavia is finally an independent state again. As well. Corsia is now an independent country here. Well. Oh yeah, Kanto does not control this area anymore. They also do not control these Alaskan islands anymore. So, Kanto does not get to keep anything. They lose literally everything by refusing to get the colony independence. They also lose these islands up here. So, Korea had a good one. Okay. Pentanovan's colony is now independent, which is Scavia. They are now an independent state as well. And Zoni, which is basically this country is now independent as well. Here. Meanwhile, nothing in South America changes since most of the countries didn't really fight each other. And Africa is just more further consolidated as well. As Garcia actually gets to keep the colony as well. So, we'll see what happens in the interwar period. Also, going to give these countries names too. So, Mai and Truna are two new independent states in Central Asia. So, and also give this Finnish nation a name, which is Finai, and their capital will be right here. Also, Kaui is finally independent again, so good for them. And Equal actually didn't lose a lot of land, because a lot of this land is just the same ethnicity and same culture, so they didn't lose anything. Also, Demonia didn't lose any of the land as well, so they get to keep their independence. But this is going to cause the people of Kanto to be very upset, as they lost one of the big colonies, the colonies. And they also lost the very valuable ranches up here, which is Mazia. They lose Mazia as well. I don't think Kanto controlled anything down here. Oh, they also controlled Fiji, which just goes to the Japanese. So, yeah, they lose a lot. They lost a lot here, and yeah. This is the world now, post-war. We'll see what happens as well. And yeah, I'll get rid of the alliances between episodes. But yeah, that's about this video here. Goodbye.